Hello sheep friends, welcome back to BRG. If you are new here, my name is Kelsey. My husband Ryan and I have a small farm in South Central Kansas, and we are breeding up Australian white sheep. And I wanted to talk today in this video about why you shouldn't buy a percentage ram of Australian white. So let's go ahead and dive right in. I'm not going to act like I am an expert in sheep, that I am all knowing and everything. We are in our 4th year of sheep, and so let me get in the shade. So I'm still learning. We thankfully stumbled upon these Australian whites, and they are awesome. And so I'm learning while we're developing our breed up program and doing all the fun things with Australian whites of embryo transfer and all that. But like anybody that is new to sheep, when you see these Australian whites, or you see a good looking sheep, you're like, "Ooh, that's nice." And when we bred our Australian whites to Katahdins, we obviously got an F1 cross, 50-50% cross, that first time of breeding. And when those lambs hit the ground, you know instantly that they are different than your other breeds of sheep. Like, I guess than your Katahdin, or like for us personally Katahdins. If you're breeding them to Dorpers or something, you'll be able to tell that that Australian white stamps, is what they always say, stamps those genetics into that first cross. And so when you see those lambs, you're like, oh my goodness, these are awesome. I want to keep all of them. Like, all of them are great. They grow great. And it can be tempting to keep rams, percentage rams out of that. And our first 2 years we kept one. We were growing, and kept one and sold it to a friend of ours that lives close, just as hobby sheep farming. And then this last year we kept 2, and again sold one to a guy that has like 10 sheep and just needed a ram. These are F1s, so like 50% crosses, and we were unable to sell our second one, and I will show him to you guys here in a second. But since then I have been educated on using percentage rams, and I wanted to share that with you guys because it is very important, since the Australian whites are coming to the United States, that we just try our best to keep these bloodlines good, and make sure that we're using the best stock that we can to breed up, or to develop this breed. Because if you start using, it's just a slippery slope, I guess. And obviously we're invested in the breed. We are part of the AAW SBA. I love all of that they're doing with the breed, and how they're trying to get it, their long-term goals for the breed, and working with Graham of Tati Keel in Australia to try to bring the best genetics of the Australian white, get that established in the United States. So along with that is not using percentage rams. But they shared a article from the Dairy Association, and I found it very interesting and eye-opening for me, so I thought I would share it with you guys. I printed it out because I use my phone to film, and so I wanted to, let me get this right, I wanted to be able to share this. So I'm new to sheep. I'm not a veterinarian. I don't know genetics the best. So this little chart made the most sense to me, which is why I'm just going to read off the chart. But I will leave the article down below, and you guys can go and read more about like the specifics of why it's not good to use percentage rams. Well, so they're talking in dairy terms, like in cattle terms, but it applies the same across any breed of animal. But like I said, this is from the absglobal.com, and they're talking about dairy cattle. But this is also just dumbed down, I guess, to farmer terms that I make sense to me, and that will hopefully make sense to you. So the example that they use, they have this little chart there, and it's using a polled black body, black face animal with a horned red body, red face animal. So those are your male and female, your sire and dam. And then you cross those, and those would come up to 100% F1, generation, all polled and black-faced, or black-bodied and white-faced. So I don't know, you'll have to just see it. But then if you were to cross those F1s and breed them, so it says that you would have 42% that look like the original F1 generation. So they're going to be the polled, black body and white face. But then 58% are going to resemble a different combination of that F1. So they're going to be polled, black body, black face, horn, black body, white face, polled, red body, white face, horn, black body, white face, and it goes on a couple more. But if that makes sense to you guys, so you're going to have that 42% that will look like the original F1s, and then 58% that aren't. And you know, that variation of percentage is not gonna set you up for success of like a solid breeding animal that is going to build your flock to be the best that it can be, if that makes sense. So let me flip this around here, and I want to show you that F1 cross and give you guys my honest opinion on him. So this is our Lamborghini. We pull our rams around in here. This is not our long-term solution. We have too many rams in here for right now. We are moving it multiple times a day. But this guy up here is one of the, we have a wither. Here are two of our embryo transfer Australian white rams. They are 4 months old. They were born in beginning of April. So May, June, July. So yeah, 4 months. And then this is our established Australian white. He is 5 years old. But this is his son, who is half Katahdin, half Australian white. And I do feel like, oh, let me get that focused. I do feel like the other two that I told you guys that we had sold, the one the previous year and then this last one, they were a lot more I haven't seen either one of them since we've sold them, but they were a little bit more masculine than this guy. But I am just not impressed, if I'm telling you guys. Like, he is starting to look more like his father, but I mean, look at those Australian white. Him compared to a full-blooded Australian white, night and day to me. I actually, if I were starting out my flock, I don't even know if I'd use him. I would almost pick if I'm being honest, I would pick a like full-blooded Katahdin over him, just because, I don't know, I'm just not super impressed. I mean, he does have nice nuts. He is filling out. Coat's not the best, but the point that I'm trying to make is that when Graham did what he did to build this breed for a reason, and he knows what he's doing because he's done it. And why would you try to change it or use a percentage of that to try to come up with your breed? Hello, bottle baby. Yeah, not to build your breed, to build your flock. If you want the best, then I would just go ahead and use a full-blooded Australian white and skip all the headache of those percentage lambs that come out and they don't look the best. Using a full blood is going to get you the best thing long term. So I hope that helps somebody, and I hope that deters you guys. If you are looking at getting a percentage ram, I would not do it if I were you. I would save the money, stick with good genetics on the U side, and invest in a ram, an Australian white ram, and then breed up from there if you're trying to do it the cheapest way possible. And guys, as we get farther into our journey, I do want to make sure that I'm setting you guys up for success, to try to tell you guys how I think that if I were doing it over, what would be the most efficient way. Obviously, we're still learning as we go, but I want to help you guys with those questions. So if you have more questions about, you know, what if I'm starting with Katahdin ewes, how many rams would I need? Where do I look for a ram? Would I do embryo transfer? Try to put those in the comments, and I will. I don't know if I'll get back to them on comments, but I will definitely look at it and make a video over it. because it helps everybody. And there's that whole saying, there's no dumb question, because everybody has questions, and the better that we can make this breed at the beginning, the better that it will be down the road. And I'm just excited for it. Like I said, I'll leave the website to AAWSBA. That is the American Australian White Sheep Breeders Association. So that's who we're a part of. And like I said, they have been great to us, and they have done really good job helping us along the way, since we're new with sheep and new to the Australian whites, and setting us up for success down the road. I'm just so excited. So okay, like I said, if you guys have any questions, leave it in the comments, and then share this video with somebody. If you guys have somebody that you know that is thinking about buying a percentage ram, don't do it, because it's just better to invest long term for your flock. So okay, we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.